Welcome back. So in the last video, we created a new account, and in this video, we're going to show you how you can set up an account with alerts with the assumption that you are running a catering business. And in the next video, we're going to show you how to use that account for running your catering service. So what we want to do now is set up the account complete with alerts, and this should be like a one-time setup. So once it's set up, you should be good to go. You should really only have to do this once. So the first thing we need to do is browse to the web page, which is pctp.ca/list, and that will bring you to this page. Click here to register or log in, and like we showed you in the last video, we showed you how to set up your account. So here we just need to log in. Okay, now that we're logged in, the list application is really similar to a card index file or a filing cabinet, but it has a whole bunch of more power than that. For this particular application, I'm recommending two card files, one for orders and one for customers. So let's go ahead and create those. We'll create the two files. First one is orders. We'll add it. And the next one will be customers. We'll add that. Now, if we get rid of our filter and do an update, we'll see that from your home page, we have two card files or two drawers in your filing cabinet. One is called orders and the other one is called customers. If we click on the customers, let's click the browse button down here to go into the details screen. What we want to do with customers is set this up so that they're contacts. And when we created the contacts, just like you do on a number of the social media sites, it does the @ name. So it's going to create an @ customers. If I put my name in there like Norm Bain, it would say @Norm_Bain. So it's going to give everybody a name so that I can reference those, and we'll see when we go into the use the application why that's important. It really lets you easily call up customers. So we'll get rid of that @ for this particular application, and we will save by clicking the update at the top. So when we're in the details screen like we are here, when you click on the card file, it opens up the details screen, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do here. We're not going to go through all of that because we'd be here all day explaining it. If you do want to know how everything works, you can just click up here, help. It'll open a nice little help window, and it'll explain what all those fields are and what all of them do for you. So this will be the Reader's Digest version. So now we have created the customers group, and we've said that the customers that we enter are going to be contacts. We'll go back to our home page. So the way card file works is it's like a tree structure. Same as a tree is in Windows, the same as a filing cabinet is. You can have a number of different drawers, and then you can have folders within the drawer, and you can have other folders within those folders. So it's really set up as a tree. So right now from the home page, I've got two options or two branches to my tree, orders and customers. If I click on orders, it brings the open box to the top, tells me I'm in orders, and I can create a whole bunch of different cards in my card file below that. So let's create one that's today's date, 2018/01/31. I'm doing this on the last day of January. Now, if I create another one just for demonstration purposes, I'll show you what happens here. So I have a file folder called orders, and I have a number of different files that I've opened up within that folder by date. Okay, now if I go back to my home page, this now tells me under orders I have two more file folders. Alright, so let's go back into orders, and we want to set some defaults up. So when we click on the orders Click Browse first, otherwise we'll just stay browsing. Now we're in Detail. Click on Orders, it'll open the detail screen. And we're going to go down here to Alerts because we want to set up some alerts. Now the first alert that we want to set up is a Tree Create alert. And we're going to start those alerts effective today. And we're going to leave the end blank because we don't want it to ever end. And we're going to say plus 1 second for a renewal, and we'll add that alert. Now, what's that mean? That means that whenever anybody creates a card or a folder underneath this record, it's going to send an alert to the owner, which is me, and it's not going to send another alert until the plus X days is expired, which is 1 second. Why would I want to do that? Well, I want to do that so that I know whenever anybody adds a new order or a new order date record. The second one is if somebody deletes something, I want to know about that too. So let's say tree delete or completion. We'll start it today. And same thing, don't delay it. Tell me about everyone. Now the third thing I want to do is if somebody is chatting about any document within this file folder. So this is really a collaboration application as well. So what you can do is share this with a bunch of people, and you can collaborate with those people about any topic that's in these card files. So the third alert that I want to put in is if people start chatting about this, I would like to know about that chat post as the owner. So starting today, and don't tell me for another 5 minutes. We'll let people chat for 5 minutes without sending me an alert. Now I also want to set up some defaults for my orders. What are defaults? Well, defaults are actually alerts on new card files that are created. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, I'd like to know if someone has a look at the date file folder or the actual order, or doesn't have a look at the date file or the order folder. So what I'm going to do is say tree view, which means somebody had a look at a folder within that tree, and I want to start it on the date that I entered on the file folder minus 1 day, and I want to end it on the date that I created the file folder plus 1 day. I only want to be alerted once every 2 hours. And we also want to do one for if nobody looked at it. So tree no view, date, plus 1 day, minus 1 day. Okay, now let's make this a little clearer for you. We'll take a little screenshot of that. So here's what my alerts look like. Include my actions. What's that all about? Do I want an alert when I myself take that action? This says no. So that means I'm not going to get any alerts if it's me who created it. If it's someone that I shared the file with and they do it, I'll get an alert. So now that we've created these alerts, let's go back to our home page. We'll go into orders and we'll create a new card file. And we'll create the one for the next day. Now let's go into this new one. Click Browse to get into the details. Let's go into Alerts. Okay, now this is a screenshot that we took of what the defaults were, and this is our actual folder when we created the alert. So date minus 1 day, it said starting on the 1st, date plus 1 day, going to the 3rd. If anybody views that tree, tell me about it, and don't tell me again for 2 hours. If there's no view from minus 1 day, which is the 1st, plus 1 day is the 3rd, if there's no views, tell me about it. Then don't tell me again for 4 hours. So let's go back to our home page. And let's set up the customer. So what it did is, because it knows that customers are contacts, it created an @ name for that particular person. Now let's go into the details of this person. Let's edit this record for a second. And we'll go into contact. Now we can say, what's this person's phone number? What's this person's address? Now when I view that card file, I can dial the person's phone number by clicking here. If I had an application that would do that on this computer, but on your phone it would just dial the phone. Or I can click the address and it'll show me a Google map of the actual street address. Okay, so the other thing that we want to do is share this record with someone. So this is telling me that the order file has 3 cards under it, and the customer file has 1 card under it. We are in detail mode at the moment, so let's go to orders. And we want to share it. Test user 10. Now there's a group name associated with this because I can send a message to the entire group. Say I had 10 employees. If I go into this group name, I can send a message to all the people I share this with 1 click. So I'm going to share this. It says, oops, I don't know who that person is. It's now asking me for an email and a phone number for that person. So simply by entering a name and an email address, I can share this. Now I want to go back to my home page. This little icon here tells me that that folder is shared. So in this video, we talked about how to set up an account, how to share records, how to set up alerts for new records, and in the next video, we'll show you how to use the account for a catering service for a restaurant operation. Thanks for joining us.